The story behind Guildford's local plan. Residents for Guildford and Villages blamed the Conservatives for putting together a local plan and putting it in place in 2019 before the elections then. They've suggested it was pushed through in some kind of underhand way, and one of their supporters has blamed the Lib Dems for dedicating the resources to stopping him getting the local plan cancelled in a court case. The truth is that not having a local plan in place leaves a borough in peril. Where any local plan is absent or out of date, permission for development will normally be granted. Central government policy requires a housing needs assessment, which determines the level of housing needed, and it makes sense to build in more capacity as need is likely to increase over the 15 or more years that a plan is designed to last at minimum. When I asked, the Conservatives didn't try to claim credit as such for putting the plan in place before the last election. They just explained that they were legally required to do so. As soon as the inspector had approved it, they had to adopt it. The Local Government Association confirms that planning-related decisions continue right up to the date of a council election. Given that R4GV was created out of Guildford Vision Group, a pressure group of lots of people with a property industry background, it's probably a very good thing it was approved and therefore had to be put in place. And that the Lib Dems supported the defence of it. The town developments that R4G have supported, such as, just one example, Debenhams, or working hand in hand with developers on schemes such as North Street, are not meeting the housing need for 3-bedroomed homes, and they don't address the need for smaller properties. 80% of the need for 1-bedroom starter homes is for affordable homes, and barely any of these units are affordable. So they can only draw in more people from elsewhere who will buy or rent these homes and then inevitably in a few years' time will demand 3-bedroom homes, space to bring up families in our villages, resulting in higher density in the villages and filling up all the green spaces between them. The local plan consultation involved more than 6,000 respondents in its first phase, generating around 30,000 comments, and then was revised for the second stage, which generated many thousands more comments. It was, unlike Residents for Guildford and Villages' approach, a truly widespread consultation. And of course it's controversial. Local plans set different areas against each other. Understandably, most people want the positive features of their areas to be maintained. It's not good for any political party in power when a local plan is put in place. The council had to take around 2.5% of land out of the green belt and redesignate villages as non-green belt to make the numbers and to deliver a plan that would be acceptable to the inspector. And then R4GV ruthlessly exploited this and have spent a huge amount of time and effort reinforcing this idea that the Conservatives somehow did something avoidable and somehow wrong. In 2019, they wiped the Conservatives out in many areas with an extraordinarily effective campaign on this basis. But R4GV are the guys who wanted to take the protections away. Were they going to revise the plan or just leave it open for developers? If they're elected on Thursday, you can bet they'll push the North Street and other schemes through that will not replace current demands in the villages and will just generate even more demand as a consequence. If we want to defend the villages and rural areas, we need to vote against them on Thursday. Postal votes were being sent out only 1 week after the candidates were announced, so many will have voted before they understood what's been going on. So not voting isn't enough. They'll just win by default. We need to defend our town, the economic hub of our borough and our villages. Please make sure you vote on Thursday to save our villages from even greater demands being placed on them. Thank you.